my name is Phoenix Tate, and today I'm here at the old Louisiana State Capitol building. And to really understand the history of it, I want to talk about the history of all of the capitals in Louisiana. So the original state capital was formed in New Orleans in the year 1812, shortly after Napoleon sold the Louisiana Territory to America in 1803. New Orleans was always a highly debated choice as the capital because it was the most populated city in Louisiana at the time, and that meant that the interest of the legislature would always reflect the city of New Orleans, but not so much the smaller, less populated towns or farmer towns. And so the legislators debated this from 1812 until 1845, when they finally chose a secondary capital, which was Baton Rouge. They chose Baton Rouge because it was on the Mississippi River, which was the easiest way to travel at the time because the road networks of Louisiana weren't very sophisticated at the time. After they finally selected the building, it took 5 years for the building to come up, and the building was then in government from 1850 until the Civil War. And once the Civil War broke out, the state legislature dissolved, moved to Opelousas, Louisiana, and then to Shreveport, Louisiana, in fear of the Union Army. And because the state capitol was empty, the Union Army took the state capitol building and used it as dormitories for their troops and also as a prison for Southern soldiers. During the Union's occupation of the state capitol, they burned down the state capitol. Everything was burnt except the exterior walls. So after the Civil War was complete, the Louisiana state government approved $154,000 to go towards the rebuilding of the old state capitol. The old state capitol took 15 years to rebuild, and it finished in 1889. And after that, the government stayed in the state capitol until 1932. So I feel like one of the most striking things about the old state capitol is the architecture, which was done by the famous New York architect James Dakin, who drew his inspiration from French neo-Gothic architecture, which is really identifiable with the pointed arches and the steeply pitched roof. Here I have a picture of a mirror that was used to reflect light, and because they did not have electricity, so they had to use the windows and light. So with the burning down of the state capitol, they redid it, and here's the beautiful, beautiful grand staircase that they have in the main entrance. And here we can see the steep pitched roof that is fully stained glass. And all of this was new additions with the reconstruction of the old state capitol. Years after the renovations were complete, the very controversial Governor Huey P. Long made the new state capitol, or the current state capitol, and the old state capitol has been out of commission ever since in 1932. It's changed hands from several organizations such as the Veterans Affairs Association, but most recently it has been a museum that's fully open to the public and completely free to all Louisiana residents. And if you have the time, I really highly recommend that you go and support them and go take a look around and learn some history about Louisiana. Thank you for listening to my presentation.